Hello, and welcome to the 16th episode of the Night Shift Podcast. And this is not one of my ghost encounter videos because I don't believe in ghosts. Our first video on the channel was my two paranormal experiences that I had that I couldn't explain. But this is more of if there's such a thing as a haunted house, this house is haunted. Now, as you know, as you watch the channel, I explore abandoned places, sometimes with Scruffy Links, sometimes with other friends. And there was this house, uh, called the Night House. That's why I call it because of the night road out in the country. And it was creepy. I've been to it four times. First time I went to it, it was all abandoned, falling apart. This is before I started the YouTube channel. And there's this old photo of this woman in this frame. It looked so creepy. It was a black and white photo, and she had no smile on her face. It was all dusty and old, and she was wearing Victorian clothing. Black and white photo. Uh, and when I went there the second time, it actually was stolen from there. I've been to this house four times actually. Once to take photos, wants to film for my old YouTube channel, wants to take TikTok videos and more photos, and wants to um film for the current channel, Rust Punks. Now, the thing about this place is I've been there four times, like I said, and each time something creepy's kind of happened. So let me go down the history of why I think if ghosts are real and there is such thing as haunted houses, why this house is haunted. I've had multiple things happen in this house. So the first time I went there, I was by myself. I just walked right in through the back door. And this house has a barn on it too. It's an old barn house. Anyways, I walk in through the back door. I'm exploring the house, and I'm in the living room, and I hear in the brush around the house. There's a bunch of bushes around the house. Something big and heavy moving. It sounded like footsteps shifting from one foot to the other, and they're moving from one side of the house to the other. And I was scared and freaking out. I'm like, oh crap, the owner is on the property, or someone called the cops because they saw me walk in, and they're walking through the brush, and it was way too big. It was too heavy of footsteps to be a squirrel, and it sounded like it was moving from one end of the house to the other. So I froze. I was nervous. I'm like, "Oh, today's the day I'm going to get caught urbexing. I've never been caught before." But no one ever came in, and I stood there for 30 seconds, listened to it for 20 seconds, and no one. The noises went away, and no one ever walked back in. I explored the rest of the house and the barn for another 15, 20 minutes and left it. Didn't think anything of it. I thought maybe, since it's out in the country, maybe that could have been a deer. I don't know. That's a rough guess. There is some woods nearby behind the farm field, but I don't know. Second time, I was looking through the items of the house, not to steal anything. I have three rules when I explore abandoned places: I don't steal, I don't vandalize, and I don't break and enter. I was looking through the little trinkets, and they have old family photos in there. It's really actually kind of like a time capsule. All this old rotting stuff that used to belong to this family, including this really cool old antique piano, which you'll see in the video here in a little bit. But I was looking through the stuff, and then something behind me fell, and I looked, and it was a little angel trinket, this little ceramic statue of an angel. Um, and that was the other thing. Last time I've been there, I was with my friend Patrick. We were filming for Rust Punks, and as we're approaching the property, you have to walk around the house like, to get in through the back because the front door is locked and it's kind of high up in the air too, a little bit. Um, and Patrick was freaked out by the basement. He said he took one look. He walked down the stairs and he looked down. He said it's too creepy to go down there. Way too creepy. But anyways, as we're walking around the back of the house, there's the barn behind the house, and we heard little kids laughing. I know it sounds stereotypical of a ghost story, little kids' laughter, but we heard it and we walked around the barn and we couldn't find any fucking kids. So then, um, we walk inside the house. I'm filming with my camera. My hand's on the tripod. The camera battery's full. All of a sudden, the camera shuts off for no reason. I had to go back and refilm that little bit of the house that I lost the footage of, but it just shut off. I turned it right back on. It worked fine. The battery wasn't drained or anything. You know how they say ghosts drain the batteries, use electricity and drain batteries and stuff. That wasn't the case, but for some odd reason, my camera just randomly shut off, and that's never happened with this camera before. Then Patrick and I were walking out, and we were going to the barn. We were exploring the barn. The back wall is completely missing of the barn. You can just walk right through. It's like a long hallway. And there's a bunch of tractors and bales of hay in there and old antique machinery and stuff. It's pretty cool. We heard children laughing again. And we paused and we looked around the either end of the barn. We looked through the back of the barn where there is no wall. You can just walk right through it. We looked in the fields. There's no houses nearby. This is out in the country where the nearest neighbor is like 500 yards down. This is out in the sticks. It's called Essexville, Michigan. And so there was no nearby neighbors. And we couldn't find any fucking little kids. Not a single fucking one. It was really starting to freak us out. And we're getting ready to leave, and I'm filming. I can't remember if I was filming at this point, but we were talking. We were standing towards the front of the barn, which was closest to the house. And there's we're about 10, 15 feet apart from each other, and there's piles of grass everywhere. And as we're talking, we hear like a like someone's walking through a pile of grass. It kind of sounded like, and it sounded like it was coming from right between us. And we kind of paused there, and we thought, is that coming from somewhere else? And someone's found us on the property, but it sounded like it was in between us. Both Patrick and I agreed that it sounded like it was coming from between us, and it could have been the pile of grass in between us. I didn't look in the pile of grass. I didn't see any footprints in the grass because I wasn't expecting to hear that. But it sounded like someone was walking through the grass in between Patrick and I. And those are the only scary events I've had happen here. But when you combine all three or all of them together, it makes you wonder if, like, I don't believe in ghosts, but if there is a haunted house, this place is fucking haunted. We should go there at night and do a Supernatural Skeptics show there. Supernatural Skeptics is a show on our channel where we uh, investigate the paranormal, but we're skeptics. We're open minded to the fact that there might be the paranormal activity. Ghosts might be real, aliens might be real, cryptids might be real, haunted dolls might be real, or whatever, curses might be real. But right now, we're skeptics. We're looking for the proof. We want to believe in ghosts and stuff, but we're looking for the proof. So, anyways, we do this show, Supernatural Skeptics, where we investigate the paranormal, debunk anything we can, and we're waiting for that one experience that we can say, I think we experienced a ghost. So we should come back to this house at night and film it there. It'll be really creepy at night walking around, and there's probably homeless people that stay there too, honestly. I do remember seeing mattresses on the floor in there. But anyways, this place was creepy because of the abandonment part of it, and just all these experiences that, when you combine them all together, it makes you wonder: is there somebody haunting this house? Is there little children haunting this house? That's why we heard children laughing in the barn or around the barn. Anyways, I went to work and told my friend Luca about the children laughing. My coworker Luca, and she took it too far. I think, bless her heart, Luca's awesome, but she said, "Oh, children automatically go to heaven, so that could have been children ghosts. That was a demon imitating children to get you to get possessed or something." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's a step too far for me. Even ghosts are a step too far, but demons, nope, don't believe in that crap. Ghosts, I can at least understand a little bit and be like, hey, that might be real. I have to experience it. But demons, no, I don't get into the Bible stuff, so yeah." But that's it for this episode of the Night Shift Podcast. Um, it's about this house that's probably haunted. I've been to 4 times, and every single time I've been there, something or a couple things weird has happened. On this channel, real quick, we explore abandoned places. The footage that you're seeing is a house that I explore that might be haunted. We do a podcast that this is this podcast right now. The Night Shift Podcast about anything dark, creepy, and scary. Usually the podcast is just a regular podcast, but every once in a while we'll include footage like this one. The other Night Shift podcast that included footage was of the Fabian Fournier Docks murder site. But anyways, you all have a great night. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. If you subscribe, it doesn't cost you a thing, and it helps out a small channel trying to make it big on YouTube. You all have a great night. Bye.